Okay, so we need to do a brake job on my wife's Acura, and unfortunately I just had surgery, so I'm under lifting restrictions and such, and my wife doesn't want me doing this job myself, so that means she's got to come out and do it as I give her instruction. So I usually do my brake jobs a different way, and I've gotten a lot of flack on that, but since my wife's got to do it, we're going to do it the way most people do it, the lazy way, which is fine for most scenarios, which is where you use a C-clamp to compress the piston in. Now, the reason I do my brake jobs the other way is because I've gotten a soft pedal from this before, but we should be fine, and most people do the brake jobs that way and they don't have a problem. Occasionally you'll come across a soft pedal, and actually some guy on YouTube that was kind of smug with me about my technique did it his way with the C-clamp, but he got a soft pedal, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so right now Jill's just loosening the lug nuts so that when she jacks the car up, she can get them off without spinning the front tire. And she's using my torque wrench because I don't have a breaker bar. So now after she's broken the lug nuts loose, she's going to jack the car up all the way so that she can finish taking those lug nuts off. Okay, now that we have the car off the ground, that wheel off the ground, Jill's going to take the rest of those. So she's going to switch the torque wrench for the ratchet since we've already gotten them loose. And she's going to get them the rest of the way off.
Could I just do that with my hand?
Yeah, try it with your hand.
Am I supposed to do it like that?
No, it doesn't matter what direction you take them off once they're loose. When we go to tighten, you do like a star pattern. There you go. Loosen them all. Just loosen them all. All of them. That's loose enough. All of them. So now take this ratchet off the extension, and then you can just spin this. Okay, now I just wanted to show you guys something. Because we had no choice but to let these pads wear down to the metal, it's actually grooved the rotor a little bit. But since we don't have time to get it turned, we're just going to put new pads on there until we can replace these rotors later. It should be fine. Okay, so the next thing Jill's going to do is she's going to use a 12mm socket to take these two bolts off, one on top, one on bottom, to get this caliper off. So she's going to use the smaller ratchet. Okay, there we go. Go ahead. It's already set.
Figure out which way to do it.
That's the way.
Oh, it's set.
Yeah. You might have some trouble breaking it loose, so I'll go get my mallet. Okay, we actually forgot a step in my hand. We forgot to put this jack stand under the car to keep it from slipping while we're working on it. So we're going to put that under now. Okay, now that jack stand's under there, she's going to lower the car just enough to put some weight onto that jack stand, and she's going to leave this jack on there. Is it getting really easy? You probably lowered it enough. Take that handle out of there. So now she's got 2 points where the car is supported. She's got this jack and the jack stand. Makes it safer. So now she's going to put this back on there where she had it. Put that back on the top bolt. Does that jack stand look okay?
It doesn't look like it's supporting it. It doesn't even look like it's touching.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. Go ahead and lower it more. I just looked like it was easy for you. She's going to take that bolt off the top, and since she's not quite strong enough, she's going to hit it with this mallet on the wrench to break that free. Normally I do that with my hand, but I don't think her hands are strong enough to do that. You're going to have to hit it hard.
Am I going to take my hand off it, or am I going to hold it here?
You can hold it up top so you don't hit it hard. Is it moving? Okay, see if it's loose. Okay, now do the bottom one. Same technique. Yep, that's right. It's only held on there by 2 sliding bolts. Hit it with the wrench. There you go, good job. Now you're going to take those bolts the rest of the way out with the socket. Okay, now that she's got those bolts out, this whole caliper is going to slide out. You're going to slide it out and you're going to set it on top here like this so that you're not resting all the weight on this brake line. go. So we're going to pull this pad off. That's the pad towards the outside. It's not actually as bad as I thought it was. Need to get a screwdriver to get that off. Okay, so since we couldn't get this back brake pad off, we're going to wedge a screwdriver in there and try to, there we go. We're going to pry that little pad off. Here's the back pad. It's cracked, but it's not down to the metal, so it's not as bad as I thought it was. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this back on here like this, and we're going to take this C-clamp. Okay, we've got this C-clamp on here, and with the pad, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn this in slowly, very slowly, to compress this piston back in there so we can get the new pads on there. Okay, just FYI, when you're doing this technique, you want to do this very slowly. You don't want to turn these in too fast, or you're going to have a soft, mushy pedal. So you do it just very slowly. Okay, now that that piston is flush with this edge, we should be able to get those new brake pads to fit in there. Okay, so they should slide right in here. There we go. There's the back pad. Nice to clean the gunk out between these slides so that it slides in there better. Okay, now the new pads are on there, and we're going to take this caliper and put it back on. So it goes on there just like it came off. There you go. Let me in there.
Hold on.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it? Alright, now put the bolts back in. Okay, so Jill's got the caliper back on. And she's putting the bolts. You're not getting it. This has to come up. There we go. We're quite lined up there. These slide in and out, so if you can't get this caliper back in, you push these in. You gotta turn this so it goes the other way. So now Jill's gonna use the ratchet to tighten them on there. Tighten it all the way. Tight as you can get it. And then do the bottom. And I want to check that since it's kind of critical. I think in this situation, if you don't know what you're doing, you should probably use a torque wrench and the proper torque, but I'm going to check these myself. So I think we're okay. Okay, so now Jill's going to jack up the car to get that jack stand out of there. So it's just sitting on the jack, and then she's going to put the tire back on and the lug nuts back on. And she's done with this side, and we're going to do this the other side the exact same way. So doing a brake job is so simple a girl could do it. Just kidding, of course a girl can do it. It's just my little joke. So don't be afraid to try and do your brake job. Okay, since Jill's got these all just snug, what she's going to do is she's going to bring the jack down so that the wheel is just sitting on the ground so that it won't spin, and then we're going to use my torque wrench and we're going to torque them. I think I have it set to 95 foot-pounds, and that's what we're going to use. Okay, since we're ready to tighten these, she's going to do it in a star pattern. She's going to walk around the wheel like this. So do that star pattern. Where's your key for that? Put that on there first. Just don't do it, just do it like half tight now, so don't do it till it clicks. I'll tell you how to. Go ahead. Okay, you'll get more pressure if we switch positions and you push that torque wrench so it's going down. So rotate it around, rotate this around. There you go. So that you're pushing down, which that way you can use your body weight on it. Okay, now go to the next one. There you go. Do the same thing. Okay, now next Over here. Okay, did you do this one? Then do the bottom one. Okay, now you're going to do this one. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to do it until that wrench clicks. You'll feel it click in your hand. Did it click? There you go. Now do the next one. There you go. Excellent. Sometimes when you get that stuck on there, you can use the wrench to wiggle the wrench around to get it unstuck. Sometimes it does that because it's a little bit of a loose fit. Is that all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're done with this side, and what I like to do is I like to reseat each side separately. So Jill's going to go inside here in a minute, and she's going to slowly push the brake pedal down to let that those brake pads reseat. We'll show you. Slowly. And then just pull it out.
So don't keep going down.
Yeah, keep going down. That's far enough. Now slowly pull. Just pull your. You can do faster than that. Faster. And just keep doing it until the pedal becomes firm.
Slower?
No, it's fine. A little slower than that. Keep going. You can let it out faster, but getting firm. Keep going. All right, one more time. And again. You get a soft, mushy pedal.
It's more firm than the first time I pressed it.
How firm is it compared to what it was before we did this? Okay, so now we're going to do the left side, and we're going to do the exact same technique, and she's going to come in here and she's going to pump the pedal up until it's firm, and then we're done. So that's it. That's all there is to it.